Okay, guys, so let us continue from where I stopped last time. Today we are going to look at chapter 5, which is the last part of our training. So let us go to chapter 5. Okay, this is going to be chapter 5. I'm trying to increase on the size so that you can see properly. Okay, and I'm going to center it just like this. So chapter 5 contains what we call data presentation. No, it contains discussion of findings. It contains conclusions. It also contains recommendations. Okay, that is chapter 5. Okay, let me try to save it. Put it on the desktop, but I will later put it in our folder. Now, and I remember telling you that every time you start a new chapter, you're supposed to begin with what? With introduction. So we are supposed to say 5.0 introduction, and then under this introduction, we are supposed to talk about the contents of this chapter. Okay, we are going to say that this chapter contains discussion of findings, conclusions, and recommendations. Okay, and then after that, we are going to go to 5.1, which is going to be discussion of findings. Then after that, 5.2, we are going to look at conclusions also. 5.3, this one is going to be recommendations. And then 5.4 is going to be areas for that search. Okay, so those are the items that we're supposed to focus on in chapter 5. Okay, 5.1 discussion of findings, 5.2 conclusions, 5.3 recommendations, 5.4 areas of further search. Okay, so those are the five items that we're supposed to talk about under what? Under chapter 5. Actually, there are 4 items. Now, what are you supposed to be doing under discussion of findings? Under discussion of findings, first of all, we need to know what are the findings. Findings are the things that we have in chapter 4. Okay, so let me first open our previous chapter 4, and then I can share with you. So this is our chapter 4. Okay, chapter 4 contains what we call data presentation, interpretation, and analysis. But the findings contain 2 things. Findings contain interpretation and analysis, meaning that data presentation is out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy everything here, just like this, and then I create a new page. I paste the things that I've copied here, and then I'm going to start from, you can as well start from demographic characteristics. Okay, make sure that you delete the tables. Okay, delete the tables, and then you keep the other information below. Okay, so I'm going to move the board. So this is the first category. Hold on a minute. So this is the first category, which is demographic characteristics of respondents. So you're supposed to do you're supposed to start the paragraphs by saying that the study found out that, then you can remove all this information, connect it up there. You also do the same here. You're going to move these tables. Instead of saying that the table 4.2 above shows, you're going to say that it was found out that, and then you can delete all this information and then bring this one up here. Okay, why am I using the keyword found out? It is because we are just doing findings. Okay, findings, you have to use the keyword found out, or you can as well use the word revealed or discovered. Okay, so that's what those are some of the words that you're supposed to be using. Okay, down here you can as well say that the study revealed that. Then you highlight all this information and delete it, and then you connect the statement up there. Okay, or you can say it was discovered. You don't have to keep saying it was found out, it was found out. It will be monotonous and it won't look good. Okay, so you can as well say that it was discovered that, and then you delete all this information together with the table. Okay, and then that is the first category. Then after that, we're going to go to objective 1, which is effect of bonuses on employee performance, and then make sure that you delete the table, and then you keep the information below the table. Of course, the information below the table is of 2 types. There is data interpretation and data analysis. But the statement should start like this: the study found out that, and then you move all this information up to this that is already here. Okay, so you just do like that, and then you are going to do the same down here also. You can as well say that it was discovered that, read all this information, and then you link it up there, just like that. Then after that, we are going to go to objective 2. Remember, I was just doing, I was attempting only 2 tables because of time. So this is objective 2. Delete the table, okay, and then you start the statement by saying that the study will build that. Okay, instead of saying the table 4.7 above shows that, move all this information and replace it with this one. Okay, just like that. And then you're also going to do the same here. You're going to say that it was found out that you do the same. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm just compiling findings. Okay, all these things that I'm just compiling are findings. Now this is the last objective, objective 3. I'm also going to do the same, remove the tables, and then you start the statement by saying that the study found out that, then remove this information, connect it up there. The same applies here. Okay, maybe you can say the study will do that. Okay, and this other information can go away. So that is what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so what I've done, I've removed the tables and I've kept, I've taken only the data interpretation and analysis, and that is what makes findings. Okay, data interpretation and data analysis is what makes what? Data is what makes discussions of findings. Okay, so all these are supposed to be, I'm going to copy all these things, and then I take them where? I take them in our chapter 5. Okay, where is our chapter 5? Our chapter 5 is here. Okay, just like that. Now, what I've done, I've brought only the findings, but these are not discussion of findings. Now, first number them 5.11. So I'm going to be 5.12. This one is going to be 5.13. Yeah, something like that. Then now what do we have? We have just done findings. Okay, these are just findings, but we need discussion of findings. Now, how do you do discussion of findings? We do discussion of findings by going to our literature review. Look for the paragraphs where those statements that we used on our questionnaires are, and then copy those paragraphs and then bring them here. Okay, that is how you make discussion of findings. But at the moment, we've just done findings. Okay, findings meaning that you go to chapter 4, copy the words that are below the tables. Only the words that are below the tables. Remember, chapter 4 contains 3 things: data presentation, data interpretation, and data analysis. So when we say findings, we mean that you go and copy only 2 things: data interpretation and analysis. Data presentation, that is, those are tables, but we don't need tables in chapter 5. Okay, so you only copy the words that are below the tables, and that's all. So bring them and put them in chapter 5. And that is part of what? Discussion of findings. Now, after that, we need to discuss them. How do we discuss them? You need to go to literature review. We are going to go to literature review. Okay, we are going to go to literature review. Let me open our literature review. Okay, now we are going to go to literature review. Then we are going to look for the keywords. Okay, if you look at this paragraph, I want you to identify for me the keyword or the statements that came from the questionnaire. The statements that came from questionnaire, they start from where? They start from here. Okay, bonus is an important tool for increasing. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy these ones just like this. Okay, copy them, and then I go to chapter 2. I'm going to go to chapter 2, and then I try to find these words. The words are here, so I'm going to copy this whole paragraph. Okay, just like this, and then I take it where? I take it in our chapter 5. Okay, and then before you put it there, you're supposed to bring the citation. Okay, so I'm going to say that this is in line. We then put a citation. Who noted that? Then you can bring the whole statement just like that. Okay, so this last part is what we call discussion of findings. Okay, this last part is discussion. Okay, and this one is a finding. So when you combine the two, it becomes discussion of findings. Okay, so let us do the same also for this other item. Okay, so where is the statement in this in this statement? The statement that came from the questionnaire is what I'm talking about. Okay, the statement that came from questionnaire starts from here. Bonuses can actually be detrimental. Okay, so I'm going to copy these ones. Then I go to chapter 2. This is our chapter 2, and then I copy those ones. I remember I've copied, so I'm going to paste them here, and then I find those words. Those words are already in this paragraph, so I'm going to copy this whole paragraph because the words that I'm looking for are in this paragraph. Copy them just like this, and then go back to chapter 5. Okay, and then you bring the whole thing and paste it down here. But before you put it there, you're supposed to start the statement by saying that this is in line or this is in agreement with. Then put the citation that is in that paragraph. Okay, then you say who noted that, something like that. So this whole thing is what you call discussion. Okay, and this is findings. So the whole of it becomes discussion of findings. Okay, let us go to another objective, which is objective 2. So where is the statement that came from questionnaire? The statement that came from questionnaire starts from, it comes after that. Remember when I was telling you in chapter 4 that how do we interpret? You say that the study revealed that 10, the frequency of 10, which is equivalent to 50% of respondents strongly agreed. These people agreed, and then when you finish all the responses, then you're supposed to put that and then copy the heading of the table and put it there. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to be doing. So in this case, the statement that came from questionnaire is this one. So I'm going to copy this statement, and then I go to chapter 2, and then I try to look for the paragraph where that statement is. It is here, so I'm going to copy this whole statement, just like this whole paragraph, and then I go back to our chapter 5, and then I'm going to paste it here. But before you put it there, you're supposed to start with the citation. Okay, so I'm going to say this is in line with, maybe I can say Ahmed 27-2015, who noted that, and then you can bring this one up there. So this whole thing is what you call discussion. Okay, you're supposed to be doing that for all the items. Okay, after that we can as well go to another item. This is 5.1.4. okay, where is the statement that came from questionnaire? The statement that came from questionnaire is after that. Okay, so this is the statement that came from questionnaire. So copy some of those ones, then go to chapter 2. Remember the questionnaire, we developed the statements that we are using on the questionnaire from where? From chapter 2. So go to chapter 2 and then try to find where that statement is. Okay, let's see where it's not coming. Hey, no. It's not. Just hold on a minute. Person. Yes, so this is the statement. So I'm going to copy this whole thing just like that. Then I go to where? I go to chapter 5. Then I paste it here. But you're supposed to be having a citation. Okay, so you're going to say that this is in line with, then you put the citation there. Okay, maybe the citation is this. Okay, then you say who noted that, then you can bring the whole statement just up there. So this is what we call discussion. Okay, the upper one is what is finding. So the whole of it becomes discussion of findings. That is how we make discussion of findings in chapter 5. So discussion of findings is supposed to be done like that. Now let us go to conclusions. Okay, how do we make conclusions? Conclusions, they are supposed to be, if you want, you can conclude in line with objectives, or if you want to just conclude generally. Okay, so how do we conclude? You're supposed to go to chapter 2. Okay, look for where the objectives start from. The objectives start from here. You can copy this all this information. Okay, I'm just highlighting. Okay, you can copy all information, and then create a new document and then paste it there. Okay, now this information is copied from where? From chapter 2, especially this part of objectives. So what I'm going to do, I can just make everything black. What I'm going to do, since these are conclusions, I'm supposed to start the statements by saying that the study concluded that. Okay, If you are doing findings, you say the study found out. If you are doing conclusion, you say the study concluded that. If you are doing recommendations, then you say the study recommended that. So you have to use the same keyword. Recommends, concludes, or concluded. Findings, you use found out. Okay, so those are the keywords that you have to use. So then after that, you need to pick a few keywords. For instance, now we are under the first objective for bonuses. So let us look for the paragraphs that contain the word bonuses. We can take this. Okay, but it should be very short and precise. Okay, or you can just say that it was concluded that. Look for the keyword bonuses. Let me see which one can I take. Can I go take this one? Okay. So if you want, you can add another one. You can say the study furthermore concluded that, and then you're going to look for the keyword bonuses. I can take this. So meanwhile, all these I'm supposed to be there. So this is how you're supposed to be looking for conclusions. Then after that, you can go to another objective. Okay, remember conclusions is 5.2. So this one is going to be 5.2.1. Okay, this one is going to be 5.2.2. Okay, but the statement should start like how? Start the statement by saying that the study concluded. Okay, this is for allowances. So let us search for the keyword wages rather. Okay, can take which one? Can as well take this. Okay. We can as well say that it was concluded that. Search for another keyword, wages. You can as well take this. Let me see what this is not clear. Let me take this. Okay. Okay. Then after that, we are going to go to another objective, 5.2.3. And then you say that the study concluded that. And then this one is for allowances. So you can copy all of these. Okay. So that. All of these. Okay. Come there, just like that. You can as well, let me see, you take another one. Seeing this one has, it's talking about something else. Let me take this. Okay. So this is how you're supposed to be generating statements to use on conclusions. Okay. It is just very easy. It's just as that. Okay. So after that, you can copy all this information, and then I bring it where? I bring it in chapter 5. Just like that. Okay. So all these are conclusions, but these conclusions are coming from when? They're coming from chapter 2. Okay. Then after that, we're going to go to recommendations. Now for recommendations, these ones you can recommend. You can do recommendations in general. Okay. It's not a must that you should do them in line with the objectives. Okay. Just hold on a minute. Just hold on a minute. Okay, so let us continue. Recommendations. Now, how do we get recommendations? You need to go to the PDF files that we downloaded. Okay, you need to go to the PDF files that we downloaded, just like this. Let's go back to our folder. Open these PDF files that we downloaded. Let me open this one. Okay, just like this. So you can see that the topic is almost similar to ours, but the case study is different. So we're going to go to his recommendations and see what he used as recommendations and be able to see whether they can work for us or not. So these are the recommendations. So let us read through. Recognizing success is this, so the worker, the management should do this. So these ones are okay. You can copy these ones and then take them. because I'm seeing there, okay? Then go back to your recommendations. But since when you're doing recommendations, start the statements by saying the study recommends that, and then you can bring the statements, the other ones later. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, then after that, you can as well go back to the PDF file and look for another recommendation. You can as well take this, okay, copy it, and then bring it here. Okay, just like that. Okay, but you should start your statement by saying that was recommended. That's the management of that and should do that. Okay, so this is how we get recommendation side. Okay, we can as well take this. Okay, and then we go here, we go to our chapter 5, and then we can paste all the things there. Okay, and then when you're starting the statements here, you're supposed to say that the study recommends that. You can bring these ones later. So these are recommendations. That's how you're supposed to be generating recommendations. Now, why am I taking these recommendations? It's because I'm copying them from another topic that is similar to ours. Okay, this is the topic. This is why I've copied the recommendations from. You can see that the IV is the same and the DV is also the same. So if IV and DV are all the same, that means that the information that is using can be as well. You can as well apply it in your own research. Okay, so that's why I've used the recommendations from this research. Okay, even if the case study is different. Okay, they are talking about like San or local government, but for us, we're just talking about Hodan district. You understand? Sarabank, Hodan district. So they say all of them are organizations. So you can as well just use that information. Okay, it is just fine. So without wasting any more time, let us continue. Now, let us go to areas of further research. Now, what are you supposed to be doing under areas of further research? Under areas of further research, you're supposed to be putting, you're supposed to suggest other topics that you think should be able to, that the researcher should be able to do. Okay, so you can say that more research needs to be done on the following. Okay, and then you can suggest topics that you want other people to research about. Okay, maybe you can say, since you have done effect of motivation on employee performance, then you can tell people to do effect of motivation on organizational performance. So you did employee performance, okay, or you can tell people to do effect of reward management on what? On employee performance. Okay. Jamal, what are you saying? I can't see what you're writing. Sure. Let me share the screen again. So these are the topics that we are suggesting for other people to search on. Okay, effect of motivation on organizational performance, effect of reward management on employee performance. Here, the DV is the same, but the IV is different. Here, the IV is the same, but the DV is different. So that's how you're supposed to be generating the other topics. You need to generate like 2 or 3 topics so that other people can search on. Okay, because you have already done effect of motivation on employee performance, so you don't have to suggest people to do the same topic. You have to look for other topics, even if the IV is the same, but DV should be different. If DV is the same, IV should be different. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to be doing. Now, that is the end of chapter 5. Jamal, if you have any question, you can ask me. If there is anything that you have not understood, you can ask me, then I repeat for you. If there is anything that you've not understood, this is chapter 5. It contains discussion of findings, conclusions, and recommendations. Okay, we have already looked at the discussion of findings. Okay, I showed you how to get to the discussion of findings. I also showed you how to get to conclusions. You get all these things from chapter 2, and then recommendations. You need to look for other PDF files that have the same topic like yours, and then see the recommendations that I have used, and be able to pick some information to use as your recommendations also. Okay, because these things you can't get them from the head. Okay, so if you can go the internet and search for other PDF files that have the same topic like yours, then go to the section of recommendations and see what they recommended with. Okay, and be able and pick that information that is neutral that you can be able to edit and use. Okay, so that's how you're supposed to be getting the recommendations. Then the areas of further research, these are just other topics that you are suggesting future researchers to do. Okay, future researchers, I mean that students who are going to be studying when you're already finished. Okay, maybe the students are going to do research next year, other maybe they are 1 year, maybe 2 years to come, 3 years to come. You understand? So those are the topics that you need to suggest. But these topics that you suggest should be having same IV, different DV, same DV, different IV. Okay, so that is the technique. Okay, you have to make sure that one variable is similar. Okay, so that is it. Jamal, do you have any question? If you have any question, you can ask me. There's something that you don't understand, please, you can ask me. If it's not there, we can I can compile the whole thing. Okay, let me open. Where is our chapter 1? Chapter 1 is here. Then chapter 2 is here. Chapter 3 is here. Chapter 4 is also there. So I'm going to compile the whole thing now. Okay, and the references. So let me. I want to compile the whole work and then I make one thing. Okay, so it's going to be complete dissertation. Okay, I'm going to call it chapter complete dissertation 79. This group is 79. Okay, I'm going to move the colors because this time around I don't need colors. So this one is going to be a dissertation. Okay, it's no longer a proposal. Okay, and make sure that this is in a V format. I remember telling you that. Okay, you have to make sure that all these are in a V format. Okay, and then here you're supposed to indicate November because we're in November. And then after that, this is the cover page. You're supposed to put your names, maybe Ahmed, Mahmoud, something. Then you put your registration number there. Okay, then after that, you need to put cover pages, preliminary pages. So what are those preliminary pages? Preliminary pages, I'm going to go to other dissertations that have been done by other people. Okay, and then let me see, which one can I take? Let me see, we can as well take. Just hold on a minute. I want to compile. Just hold on a minute. Okay. So I'm going to copy these preliminary pages and then I use them up. Okay, because they are the same, they're almost the same. There's nothing that changes. Okay. The size 16. Now, these preliminary pages, you can copy them from other friends of yours who have already finished. Okay, who have already completed. So it is Ahmed Usman. Okay, let's put Ahmed Usman here. And then, so this is the declaration page where you have to put where you're supposed to sign. Okay, let's follow them. Okay, let us continue. Here we're supposed to put our topic. The case study is Sarama Bank. Okay, our IV is motivation. Our DV is what? Employee performance. So that is it. Then approval is going to be the same. Let me not put the topic. Okay. This is approval. Approval is where the supervisor is going to sign. You have to put the date, the signature space for signature, and space for date. And then, of course, you put the name of your supervisor, whether it is a professor, whether it is a doctor. Then the education, this is where you're supposed to indicate the people that you love, maybe your mother, your father, your friends, your wife, your children. And then acknowledgement, this is where you're supposed to put the people that have helped you to do this research. Maybe your classmates, maybe your supervisor. Okay, there is a difference between acknowledgement and dedication. Dedication, you are dedicating it to the people you love. Okay, but acknowledgement, you are thanking people that have helped you. Okay, to do this research. Then after that, table contents. Then we're going to go to list of tables. Okay, let me try to highlight all these things and put them in one type of heading. Okay, just one and not. Then after that, make sure that everything is in black and white. So highlight all these things and put them in one type of heading. Okay, I'm putting them in heading 1, just like this. And make sure you remove all these things because they're not supposed to be there. Okay, all these things, you don't bold the paragraphs, the words that are in these paragraphs, don't bold them. Okay, after that, we go to theoretical review, do the same. After that, we go to conceptual perspective, do the same. After that, we go to contextual, do the same. Please don't bold the statements in the paragraphs. After that, go to problem statements, do the same. Okay, these are, I was just teaching you, that's why I was just putting these ones. I was just illustrating for you. Okay, after that, you can go to purpose. That's like that, then objectives. Okay, specific objectives. These ones I use the minute one method. You can see them. And after that, you go to research questions. If you use research questions, then there is no need for hypothesis. Okay, and after that, you go to scope of the study. Okay, and then after that, you go to content scope. Okay, after that, you go to time scope. Okay, all these things I will just putting them in the board so that you can see them clearly. Okay, and then these are significancy. Okay, and then this is conceptual framework, and then this is definition of key terms. So you have to make sure that you highlight them and put them in one type of heading. So that is chapter 1. What is chapter 2? Chapter 2. Let me first close this. Chapter 2. Yes, chapter 2 is here. So I'm going to copy all of these things and then bring them where? Bring them to our concrete dissertation here. Everything should not use colors. Okay, that's why I'm removing the colors. Okay, just like that. And then, of course, you're supposed to highlight all these things and put them in one type of heading because they are going to be on the table of contents. Okay, all these things I was just illustrating for you. Okay, you don't have to write them there. And then after that, you go to the view-related studies. You also do the same. Objective 2, you highlight, put it in one type of heading, same that we're using before. Even the last objective. Then empirical studies, you're supposed to do the same also. Okay, empirical studies, I remember telling that these are other, this is just, you are supposed to look for any information that is in line with your topic, copy it and then put it on empirical studies. That is the search gap. When you are done, then you go to chapter 3. Okay, chapter 2 is done, I can close it. Let us go to chapter 3. Copy all this, bring them in our chapter 5, in our complete dissertation here. Make sure that you move the bold things, move the colors, move all those things because they're not important. Okay. And then after that, start highlighting all these things and putting them in one type of heading. Okay, I'm putting them in heading 1. So you can see that. Okay, then research design, this one. Okay, all these things I was just trying to illustrate for you. Remember that. Then after that, you go to target preparation, post-target preparation. Okay, after that, you go to sample size. Okay, after that, I think we use 150. Yeah, we use method 1. Okay, so what is sample size? Already done that. Target preparation. All of these are supposed to be put in one type of heading. Okay, so that sampling techniques. Okay, you can highlight all these and put them in one type of heading, just like that. Okay. Let's do like this. All these, I write them and put them in one type of heading. just like that. Okay. So this is how you're supposed to be doing what? Be highlighting all these things and putting them in one type of heading. Okay, like that. For considerations, the same. Then orientations, the same also. Please, you might leave out the bullets because remember we are writing indentation, so you need to put everything in ASO format. So don't use bullets. Okay, and then after that we are going to go to chapter 4. Chapter 3 is done. We can close chapter 3. Let's go to chapter 4. I'm going to copy all these things and then I bring them where? Bring them here. Okay, so after that, I'm going to remove the colors because we don't need to use colors. Make sure you highlight all these things and put them in one type of heading, just like this. Okay, you can just highlight and put them in one type of heading, and then all these things that are in bold, you can move them on board. Okay, because I did that since I was just illustrating for you. Okay, all these things are not supposed to be in bold. Okay, these words that are below the tables. Remember the words that are below the tables, they are of two types. There is data interpretation and data analysis. So all these words are not supposed to be in bold. This is objective 1. You can highlight it and put it in heading 1, just like that. All these things are not supposed to be in bold. Okay, all these I can move these ones because they are not important. So let me just leave them there. Even though I didn't do it, I didn't separate them because we didn't have enough time to do that. So, or you can just highlight all these things and put them in one type of heading. Make sure you remove the things that are in bold, just like this. Okay. This is objective what? Objective 3. Remove the things that are in bold. Okay, just like that. And then this is for relationships. You can as well do the same. Okay. Let's do the same. Then after that, we're going to go to chapter 5. So chapter 4, we can close it. Put all the things, and then bring them where? Bring them in our presentation here. Okay. And then have to make sure that everything is what? Order. So chapter 5, where does it start from? Chapter 5 starts from okay. So this is chapter 5. Make sure you don't use colors. I'm not telling you that. Okay, highlight all these things and then put them in one type of heading. Okay, just like this. Just like that. Just like that. So when I'm doing this, I'm trying to, because I'm going to create an automatic table of contents. That's why I'm just highlighting all these things and putting them in one type of heading. All right, go to references. Okay, copy all the references that you have used and then put them where they're supposed to be. Okay, so do the same. After references, you go to questionnaire here, copy it, and then bring it here. Okay, make sure you move the colors because we don't need colors. Okay, we don't need colors, so that's why you have to move colors. Okay, and then make sure that you also highlight the headings and put them in one type of heading, just like that. Okay, do the same for interview guide also. So that is it. Okay. I think we use this. Okay, let me just leave it there also. No, we didn't use this. We used the solvent formula. We didn't use this method. So after that, we're going to insert table page numbers. Okay, how do we insert page numbers? We go to insert page numbers, format page numbers, then you start with Romans. Okay, then go back to page numbers, bottom of the page, and then insert them. So right now, the whole dissertation is having Roman page numbers. Okay, but we want these Roman page numbers to stop where? Stop on chapter 1, stop here. Okay, starting from chapter 1 here, we need page 1, not page 8. Okay, so I'm going to insert a page break here, just like this. Okay, I've inserted the page break. Okay, and then this one should be number 1. Okay, just like that. And then when you finish doing that, you're going to go to table contents and then go to references. We are going to draw an automatic table of contents. Go to references, go to table contents. There is automatic table 1 and automatic table 2. So you can use any. Let me use automatic table 1. When you click on it, the table contents will come automatically, just like that. Then you can go through it and see maybe if there's something that has appeared that you don't want, you can remove it from there. Okay, so that's how you're supposed to draw an automatic table contents. Then you increase on the size. Okay, just like that. Then when you're done with the table contents, then you can also go to list of tables. How do you draw the list of tables that is automatic? Go to references again, then go to insert table figures, select the type of table format, okay, which is table 4 point, just like that, and then all the tables that start with table 4 point will appear just like that. It's just as simple as that. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, and that is how you are supposed to write a whole dissertation. Okay, and that is the end of this is what you're supposed to be covering. Okay, if you have any questions, please, you can come to my office and ask me, or you can as well send them in the chat message. Okay, so today we have finished our training. I don't know, the group leader is not joined in. I'm going to put it in put these things on our group, but I expect everyone who has not paid the balance, pay the balance, and then next week you come for your certificates because we have completed our training today. Otherwise, in case there's something that you've not understood, please, you can come to my office and ask me anything that you want. Okay, otherwise, let us stop here. See you next week when you are coming for your certificates. Bye-bye.